Welcome once again to Ralph on VAR, where football's biggest moment goes under review. This is your favorite sport channel here on YouTube, where we do football analysis, post-game and pre-game analysis, incidents that occur on and off the pitch, and fans' reactions. We also delve into a bit of banter, yes, because football is never interesting without banter. On this episode, we are going to look at results from the previous week and also look into some of the possible outcomes that are going to happen in the Champions League as the Champions League is getting into its conclusion when it comes to the group phase. So we are quickly going to look at some results that occurred in the Premier League in the game week. I think it was game week 22 or 23. And then some results also across Europe, like the La Liga, the French League. The Bundesliga, where there was a shocker. Bayern Munich did lose their game. So, without much ado, let's quickly delve into it. On Saturday, we had some games in the Premier League, and the first game was the AFC Bournemouth versus Liverpool game. That game ended in a win for AFC Bournemouth. AFC Bournemouth took the lead. Liverpool were able to clock back, get a goal back. Liverpool went ahead. AFC Bournemouth got an equalizer, and then in the concluding minutes of the game, AFC Bournemouth, through their Moroccan wonder kid, were able to get the winner. So AFC Bournemouth have been without a win for quite some time now, but on Saturday they were able to squeeze a win out of Liverpool, and that is at least giving them some form of comfort when it comes to the league table, because they were very close to the relegation zone, and that win against Liverpool is a booster for them. For Liverpool, it is getting worse day in and day out. At a point, it seems as if they were able to get, they were started getting the results, but in one way or the other, it seems they are going back. Okay. There was also Burnley playing at home against Tottenham Hotspurs. That game also ended in a 2-2 draw. There was a stalemate in that game. Tottenham Hotspur haven't been doing so well, even with the inclusion of all their new players this season. But one will tend to side with them because of the numerous players they have on the injury list. There are numerous players that they even signed this season that are not playing regularly because of injury. So for some reason, maybe you can tend to give them the benefit of the doubt if they are not getting the result. So they were able to draw 2-2 away to Burnley. And there was also Fulham playing at home to Brighton and Hove Albion. Fulham won that game by 2 goals to 1. Marco Silva's men were able to get the job done at Fulham. And there was also Manchester City winning 2-0 against Wolverhampton Wanderers. I knew beforehand that that game was going to end in a win for Manchester City. I even expected a bigger scoreline than that because Wolverhampton Wanderers have been struggling this season. They are bottom of the table. So I expected City to win by a larger margin, but they did win the game by 2 goals to 0. They did keep a clean sheet. Maguire, in his debut game for Manchester City, was able to propel the team to get a clean sheet. Antoine Semenyo, the prodigy from Ghana, who has also joined the team with 4 games played so far, and he's involved in 4 goals already. He was able to get a goal in that game. So Manchester City winning and then closing the gap on Arsenal. They still maintain their second spot, but they have closed the gap to 4 points to Arsenal. There was also West Ham United playing at home to Sunderland, and that result was a shocker for me. I know, yes, even though West Ham are playing at home, they have Espirito Santo at the helm of affairs. They haven't been doing so good, so I didn't expect them to win, especially looking at Sunderland, how they have performed this season. But unfortunately for Sunderland, they took the L in that game by losing 3 goals to 1 to some goals came from Jared Bowen, who scored a penalty in that game as well. And on Sunday, on Sunday we had Newcastle United playing at home to Aston Villa, but Newcastle were unable to carry the day. They lost at home, which was also a shocker to me. Yes, Aston Villa have been doing well. They are third on the league spot, but Newcastle United, whenever they are playing at home, they are a force to reckon with. So I was quite shocked they were sat at home and lost to Aston Villa, who are now third on the log and also just 4 points behind us now. There was also the game between Crystal Palace against Chelsea. So Chelsea, yes, they went away to win by 3 goals to 1. Crystal Palace have a bit of crisis here and there. Their manager, Oliver Glasner, has already said that he's leaving the team at the end of the season because of some sales that the board has made. Magehi leaving, Eberechi Eze, and one or two players leaving the camp of Crystal Palace after Oliver Glasner was able to help them clinch on the FA Cup and then the Community Shield. So it feels as if he has been betrayed, and for that reason, he's leaving the team. So there was a bit of distortment in the team. I think psychologically, the whole team was not there, including the coach himself, because he has already put the word out that he's leaving the job at the end of the season. So they sat at home and lost to Chelsea, led by Leon Rossino, without Cole Palmer, but the star boy from Brazil, Estaval, was able to score a goal and get a brace, and get an assist in that game as well. Joao Pedro scoring the other goal, and Enzo Fernandez also scoring from the penalty spot. So Chelsea winning by 3 goals to 0, and they go into the fifth position because Liverpool were unable to win their game in there. There was also Brentford playing at home to Nottingham Forest, which was also a surprising result for me. Brentford playing at home, they do well so much whenever they are playing at home. And Nottingham Forest, Sean Dyche and his men traveling to Brentford, that is London, to go and win the game by 2 goals to 1 was quite a bit of surprise for me. So Brentford sat at home and lost to Nottingham Forest. And with that win, I think that Brentford are gradually gaining the momentum to be able to escape relegation. And finally, there was the game of the week, which was the Arsenal versus Manchester United. What a team it is for Manchester United. What a revamp. What kind of spirit that the team is now having. Yes, so Manchester United under Ruben Amorim were finding it difficult getting results, but under this new management led by Michael Carrick and assisted by Steve Holland, they were able to get a win. They went behind. If it was Manchester United of old, they would have crumbled, and then uh, more goals would have flown in. But they went behind by an own goal of Lisandro Martinez, but they were able to pull one back through. Um, I can't recall who scored their first goal. They were able to pull one back. Yeah, that was Brian Mbeumo who got the equalizer for them. That was a mistake from the Arsenal defense, and also they went ahead through Patrick Dogu. That was a very nice ball that was hit, a very nice hit from Patrick Dogu, and Arsenal were able to pull one back through their set pieces, Mikel Moreno, and then finally Matthias Cunha was able to get the winning goal for Arsenal. So sorry, for Manchester United. So I think that for Manchester United, because of the new management they have, things are shaping up differently in the camp of Manchester United. There is a new spirit in the camp of Manchester United, and now they in their last 2 games they have been able to. Michael Carrick has been able to win against tough opponents, and these opponents are opponents who are title contenders. That's Manchester City and then Arsenal. He has been able to beat them back to back. So um, going forward, I don't know how the Manchester United job is very tricky. Yes, he might be winning games now. I'm hoping that he will be able to build up the momentum from the previous 2 games that he has won, and then grind the results and also get a job. But one thing that I am happy for Manchester United, even though I don't support them, is their assistant manager Steve Holland. If you have followed Steve Holland in the past, he was a former assistant manager to Jose Mourinho, Carlo Ancelotti, and I think this former Italian coach, Antonio Conte, when they were all at Chelsea. He also assisted Gary Southgate at the England, the Three Lions, the national team level. And he's someone that does very well. He's someone that I think that he doesn't like to be in the limelight, but when he's playing his role as an assistant manager, he does so well. He pinpoints where the mistakes are and then helps the main manager. And he being an assistant manager for Michael Carrick, I think, is very good because he's able to pinpoint where the little mistakes are, where the faults are, to help the team. So going forward, I think Manchester United have a good pair of managerial sets in there, and um, it's going to propel them going forward as a team. Okay, and today there's going to be one other game left in the Premier League that is going to be played, and that's going to be played later tonight. And we look at how that game is going to go. All right, so that was the result from England in the in the last week, and we are quickly going to delve look at the we are quickly going to look at games in the Champions League that are coming on. So we have games coming on in the Champions League tomorrow and then on Wednesday, and those are going to be the last games that will be played before the teams that place first to the eighth position will now face some teams that are going to play in the knockout stage. And um, excuse me, just a moment. Okay, so on Tuesday tomorrow, yes, we have some games. No, sorry. So all the Champions League games are going to be played tomorrow simultaneously. Sorry, on Wednesday simultaneously, simply because they are the last round of games. So you didn't want a situation whereby teams will be looking at the result from somewhere just to um, do dubious things just to favor some other teams. So all the teams are going to be playing simultaneously. There's AS Monaco playing at home against Juventus, and Juventus, I don't know where they are on the log, so I cannot really tell. But I think since they are playing at home, sorry, since Juventus is playing away from home, it's going to be a tricky encounter for them. And I just want to look at the league table. Where is Juventus? So you have Juventus sitting on. So you don't have Juventus is not in the first eight. Yes, they come in 15th position, and it's going to be quite difficult for them to qualify to make it into the top eight. They are 11 points. If they are able to get a win, and then other teams like Chelsea, like Newcastle United, Paris Saint Germain don't get a win, then they might be able to qualify. So playing away from home against Monaco too is going to be very difficult. We have Monaco sitting 20 on the 21st position with 9 points, and Monaco winning will not even take them into the top eight. So let's see how that game is going to go. Yes, Juventus against AS Monaco. Um, which other game? So there is, let's quickly look at the games. Some of the games you will not even touch on them. Um, Ajax are playing against Olympiacos. There is so Arsenal. Yes, they are on form. They lost their last Premier League game, and then playing against Kirat Almaty. They will want to give something for their fans to cheer about. So definitely Arsenal is going to win that game for sure. I don't see Kirat Almaty stopping them in any way. The Sporting CP playing away to Athletic Club. There's Atletico de Madrid playing at home to Bodo Glimt. There's Barcelona playing at home to Copenhagen, and Barcelona are out of the top eight, but a win for them, and then probably Chelsea or other teams losing or even dropping points will push Barcelona into the top eight. There's Villarreal playing away to Bayern Leverkusen. There is Benfica, Jose Mourinho's men playing to Real Madrid, Alvaro Arbeloa's men. There is Borussia Dortmund playing at home to Inter Milan. There is Club Brugge playing against Marseille. There is Frankfurt at home to Tottenham Hotspur. There is Liverpool at home to Karabakh. There's Manchester City at home to Galatasaray. There's Chelsea playing Napoli. So Chelsea are going away to Napoli. They are going to face their former manager in Antonio Conte, who is also doing good in the Italian Serie A. And I think that Liam Rossino so far has shown he's a pragmatic coach. Yes, when he was coming in, I said he's a rookie coach, and some of these coaches, they don't really even know what they are about. But since he came in and he has taken in the job, one thing I like about Liam Rossino is how he speaks. Yeah, he knows what to say at what time. Even when you know the English media, sometimes they can get into your head to make you say things that you don't want to say. But he's someone that is he has the emotional intelligence. He knows how to speak. He knows how to communicate very well, and is helping the team. Um, he does the simple things. Yes, he's a manager that does the simple things. When you look at most of the games, the since he came, the games that he's played, he doesn't really think much more about positional play and all that. All he does is to put the players in and then make sure that he. All I will say is that he's trying to bring back the old Chelsea philosophy. Yes, if you know Chelsea of old, yeah, you'll say Mourinho Chelsea. Yes, that's the philosophy he's trying to bring back. It's not always going to be about nice football, but rather getting the result at the end of the day. So this game against Napoli, so far, I'll say the toughest game he played was against Arsenal, and that was Mikel Arteta, and he lost that game, but that was his second game, so you can pardon him. It was just uh, a close call line. And this game against Napoli is going to be a very difficult game for him because he's traveling away from home. He's going to face Antonio Conte, who is a well experienced manager. But one thing about Antonio Conte is he doesn't do well when it comes to some of this in the Champions League. Yes, let me put it that way. He does well domestically in the domestic league and then the domestic cups, but when it comes to the Champions League, he has never won it before. So I will not be surprised if Chelsea will go there and at least get a draw from that game. All right, there's also going to be PSV Eindhoven playing at home to Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich lost their Bundesliga game, so traveling away from home in the Champions League, I believe Vincent Company will want to win that game. And finally, I'll just touch on the Paris Saint-Germain game against Newcastle United. Yes, Newcastle United are bad travelers. Eddie Howe and his men, and even in the Premier League, whenever they travel, they find it difficult to get results. And Paris Saint Germain will definitely want to use this game to get the needed results and then cement their position in the top eight of the Champions League. Okay, so this is what we're going to draw the curtain on this episode of Ralph on VAR, where football's biggest moment goes under review. If you are new to this channel, kindly like, subscribe, and put us on push notifications.